and move towards the reasons of this act. Sexual harassment at a workplace is considered violation of a woman's right to equality, life, and liberty. Now, with time, as you see, the judicial activism has only given broader definitions to these terms of equality, life, and liberty. So, right to life with dignity and to have the kind of work and profession, that is Article 19(1)(g) should also be mentioned here, that it is not, these articles are very gender neutral, and it applies both on men and women, that they should get a perfect and a healthy uh, atmosphere for work. It creates an insecure and hostile work environment which discourages women's participation in work, thereby adversely affecting their social and economic empowerment and the goal of growth. Now, see what happens. By default, it has become important. I won't say that it is wrong, but by default, the household activities have become the prior uh, duty of a woman to do. Like, for example, in first instance, if we see any child doing wrong, so our first instinct is what? कि mom ने नहीं सिखाया. We never go towards the dad कि dad भी सिखा सकते थे या dad ने नहीं सिखाया. So I think the burden of household is somewhere by default come on women, but then obviously everyone is multitasking, including women, so they can balance out that part and work outside as well. So I think it nowadays there are no acts which are very gender specific, and they, all the acts and the work jobs are gender neutral, as far as it depends on an individual that how they take it ahead. Because if you see the organized sector, eh, the corporate world has major number of women coming up, and even if you see the construction sites, that is the unorganized sector, that also has major number of women working in them. So I don't think that in nowadays there is any gender specific occupation left. Let's go ahead. With more and more
Uh,
women joining the workforce, both
can we
in,
can we
yes,
take one question
yeah,
so
yeah,
that
sure.
it would be little bit more interactive?
Yeah, yeah,
Can
yeah.
Yes, one question from Rajiv Singh Thakur. So he's asking, as regard to Article 15 in the Indian Constitution, how can we say that discrimination against the women is in itself a sexual harassment?
See, I'm not saying that every discrimination will turn out to be a sexual harassment case. But yes, I am saying that this article helps in crabbing any discrimination, any bar which is set to discriminate between the genders. It helps out to balance it out. But every discrimination doesn't lead to sexual harassment. And for that, we have elements further to decide that when it will turn out to be sexual harassment, when there will be explicit sexual content being shown, or those kind of, as I said initially, that on dressing sense, on your behavior, maybe discussing your personal life, that kind of instances. So we have very nicely marked instances in this act, and this act is very well versed among defining that which acts will lead to sexual harassment. Can
Right.
we go
I
ahead?
hope. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I hope it answered to Rajiv. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, with more and more women joining the workforce, both in organized and unorganized sector, ensuring and enabling working environment for women through legislation is felt imperative by the government.